What is going on in this video? We're going to show you a system that Gayle used to close out 21K in the last 30 days. We're going to take a sip of this English tea and let's get live and direct and show you how she did it. Yo, yo, yo. So this is Gayle. She, did this. Look, she hasn't got the biggest audience, no great email list, isn't producing the best content in the world necessarily. It's not about writing content and like she took action. Now, how does she take action? I'm going to show you by getting people on this visual system. And she closed out 21K in her first 30 days of using this whiteboard method. So how did it all start? Let's go to the roots, because we all know the roots are queen when it comes to succeeding. So the roots are here. The roots are me in high school, teaching high school. But then as I taught high school, I realized in my first 2 years, I struggled in high school. I absolutely struggled. People wouldn't listen to me. Students weren't understanding. And here's me with some fellow teachers. And I looked at some of these teachers, thought, why are these other teachers succeeding and not me? You know, literally, I used to think that, is there something wrong with me? And I look at these teachers over here, like Richard was smashing it, like succeeding and doing a great job. And then we had Maria smashing it, Chris, Kerry, Andrani, like all of these teachers were doing better than me. I was thinking, okay, what was wrong with what I was doing? And so I had to like look deeply. And then I realized what I was doing wrong. And we're going to go through that today. Number one, what was I doing wrong? The number one thing I was doing wrong was lecturing. Because lecturing, I was just speaking at these people. That's only 5% of learning if you lecture. And then next, what I was getting them to do is I was getting them to read 10% of learning, because they were just reading stuff, right? And then things began to change in my teaching practice when I stopped lecturing them from the front of the classroom. I stopped getting them to read. What was the difference? What made me succeed? No more lecturing, no more reading. The changing point was when we started to do visual demonstrations. I got them to draw. I started drawing. It's the drawings that changed the game. Why? Because it became a lot more interactive. Visuals are 60,000 times more likely to convert, right? And so in doing that, what I did is we started to tap into visuals. And so let's kind of go deeper into how that worked then. So with visuals, looked into visuals, because visuals allow us to connect 30%. And then to go to another level after visuals is when I used to coach students live, because then we connect 75. What do I mean by coach live? Well, I tell a student to give me an answer. What's your answer to question 5? Read it aloud. I take a picture of the answer, coach them live. And then the highest amount is when the students began to teach me. And that's 90% of learning. When you can teach, that's 90 to 100%. So let's go through this in terms of the coaching industry and how this worked with Gayle in terms of the 21K month. Number one, we speak about reading, right? Okay, so let's speak about this, reading. Now, what's the key with reading? The problem with reading is that people they're not learning anything when they read, right? So it could be potentially the best article. Look, this could be the best long form piece of content. but people are always going to wonder, will it matter for me? So what do we see in the coaching scene? We see long form posts, celebration posts. Look, these are not bad, but it can't just be it, right? Hey, okay, people think, read this, click on my link. But the reason why this is not working in this industry, can I tell you why? Trust is so low. Trust is so low in this industry. This method is not working because trust is low. So if trust is low, then anyone could have used ChatGPT. Someone could be unscrupulous and could be lying. So if trust is low, why are we relying on people reading stuff? I mean, yeah, that's not necessarily going to convert premium clients. Yeah, low ticket. Yeah, 297. Yeah, 97. But not high ticket clients. Next. Now, this is where we get a little bit better, okay? Visual demonstration. So visual demonstration is a little bit better. So I want to just touch upon this quickly. I forgot to do this one. Number 2, lecturing. Now, this is how I started my teaching career. I used to stand in front of the classroom and just talk at them. And no wonder they lost focus, they lost concentration, they started to misbehave, right? Because I was just like speaking at them. So at this level, like people are not really learning, just lecturing. And we all see it, right? Someone hops onto a Zoom and then someone thinks, hey, let me just speak at this person. I'm just gonna talk at them for an amount of time. And that doesn't work, speaking at people, right? Why? Because that's not really an element of learning, speaking at people. And so rather than lecture, we have to go deeper and actually help people to succeed, right? So how do we do this? Well, the problem with lecturing, is that words go in one ear and out the other, okay? So words, words go in one ear and out of the other. Have you ever been there when you've been on the Zoom and someone's just talking for 2 hours and you're thinking, like, what am I actually learning here? They're just talking at you. That's why lecturing, scripts, coffee chats, like some people try and do coffee chats, right? Hey, I'm gonna get them on a call. Jay, I booked 5 calls, but they're all coffee chats. Like, you're just being friend zoned. Hey, we're adding value to each other. No, you're behaving like civilians in this business arena, right? Like, there's no insights, there's nothing powerful there. It's just like a nice chat. Look at me over here. Imagine if I did this. Hey, nice chat. And then I say $3,000. Like, hold on, wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. That's not going to work, right? So, lecturing, we only really taking 5% of the value, reading 10% of the value. The game really changes where there's a visual demonstration. When there's a visual demonstration, then it shows that we are an authority, that what we are teaching is something powerful. So visual demonstrations become one of the most important elements of the Zoom whiteboard, okay? Because people can actually see. So what do you mean by a visual demonstration? Well, visual demonstration It's something like this. It's just a live whiteboard. And look, this could be even in the DMs, but as a live visual demonstration, you can bring them onto a whiteboard session. But me and my students do it in the DMs. And look what happens when one of my students did this. I'll show you. This happened. He signed a 7.5K client just by doing a visual demonstration in the DMs. So that's how things become more powerful. You could also use voice notes. You could also use Loom video, selfie video, PDF, but it's got to be visual. Like you got to paint a picture somehow, if that makes sense. So visual and voice notes work beautifully. So as we can see over here, have a look. The combination of visual and voice note is extremely powerful over here, if you have a look, right? Because you use both modalities. So if you have a look here, the visual over here, then the voice notes, yeah, both of those are absolutely killer, absolutely powerful, if that makes sense. Cool. So next, what we look at is live coaching. Should we go there? Live coaching is when you are teaching live coaching. All right. So look, what's the power of live coaching? Well, the power of live coaching is someone is actually able to see your power there, live and direct. They're able to see its insights, unique insights. Cannot be faked. This is not AI. You are delivering something live and direct. It's not AI, it's not chat GPW, it's, look, it's live and direct. Are people seeing the value? And this is what Gayle was, how did Gayle do 21K in the last 30 days? Live coaching like this. We don't need it to be 1 hour. We don't need it to be 2 hours. 15 minutes, 20 minutes is more than enough. Because real value, real coaching, it cannot be faked. We cannot fake this. Our mentor cannot copy and paste this for us. We have to be that. Well, actually, I do help to make the presentations for my students, actually. So they just have to deliver them, basically. So they can be, but that's if you work with me in that regard, right? Live coaching. That's how Aisha closed 10K so far this month. That's how Stephanie closed out 6 figures, 100K in 5 months. You know, that's the power. That's how Andy did 27K in his first month. That's how Danny is closing 5K deals in 20 minutes using one of these whiteboard presentations. Not too hard. And then the most powerful phase is teaching. When clients are able to teach, when the clients are able to teach, us teaching is good, but when prospects can teach and embody. So we say to the prospect, hey, explain this for me. We say to the prospect, okay, I'll give you 1 minute, you know, tell me how this process works, okay? Tell me why this is the best process. You know, give me some insights on this. How are you gonna use this? When the prospects teach you, game over. It shows they've embodied. It shows that in essence, it shows they're aligned. It shows they're ready to move. It shows they've got the power. When the prospects say it, when it's in the prospect's words, it's 50 times more powerful. if that makes sense. So that's the power. That's how people use this whiteboard method in order to succeed.